One of the biggest problems I see happening with entrepreneurs has to do with this concept of permission. You see, as entrepreneurs, we're wired to go, 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 and we want to get things done and grow and accomplish, and that's why concepts like scaling appeal to us because we're growth-orientated people. But what happens over time is we end up becoming so caught up in this growth mode and mindset that we can get going in so many different directions and not slow down enough, and we get all these different projects going and none of them seem to come to fruition. They all have a bunch of potential, and what happens is we run ragged and we get overworked and overburdened and overloaded. It happened to me many times, and I have to work really hard to get myself out of that. That's why I'm here at this creek in the background here. I'm in Zion National Forest. I'm trying to get the background going so you can see some of the beauty behind me. But I'm out here right now because as an entrepreneur, I'm a creative person. And if we run ragged and we're going in all these different directions and we don't take the time to slow down, what happens is we get burned out. And we need to have these times where we can connect and recharge and, whatever it is for you. For me, it's connecting out to nature and being able to be filled back up by that. And that's what I'm doing out here right now. So what we got to do is we got to be careful that we don't get into that mindset, because it's going to keep you from scaling and keep you from getting those goals that you want to have in your business. So take some time to slow down and think and recharge and let some projects come to fruition. One of the things that I had to do recently is I've had all these projects going, and they all started working really well, and they were producing too much of an end result where I'm getting all these leads coming in and people that want to work with me from my marketing, and I actually had to turn off my marketing because as I was experiencing all of this explosion in growth and people wanting to talk to me, it exposed all these different problems. And that's what happens in our business. When we get one thing going and it's working, then it exposes problems with our initial plan and systems that we've had in place for that particular idea. And if we don't pump the brakes on what we're doing and slow down and attend to that, we end up creating all these extra problems. And that's why it'll feel like you're going from problem to problem to problem, constantly putting fires out. It's because you're always pushing forward in all these different areas and you're not actually pumping the brakes strategically and slowing yourself down. Part of that being taking time to recharge and do things that fill you back up, but it also applies to what you're doing with your different projects in your business. You need to pump the brakes on those things, slow yourself down a bit, and allow some of these projects to come to fruition while you're working on them strategically to improve these areas that are becoming problems. That's what we call iteration in our business. You come up with an idea, you put it out there, you test it, and then you look at what happens with it. If it worked the way that you want it to, you continue to do more of it. If it didn't, you have to adopt and change. Now, and another layer to that is that if you do something and it worked, you have to ask yourself, do you like it or not? Because if you don't like it, you shouldn't continue to do it, even if it does work. That's how we get into things that are real successful that we actually hate. And that's the absolute worst place you want to be in your business, is in a success that you hate. Right? So if you're an entrepreneur, you're in that scale mode, and you're kind of feeling like you're just spinning your wheels all the time, and you're putting out fires, and you're jumping from one thing to the next to the next to the next, and it doesn't ever seem like everything is working the way that you want it to. You really need to pump the brakes, slow down. Like the Corona commercial says, go find your beach. Maybe that's out in the wilderness. Maybe that's snowboarding or something, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Find your beach, slow down, reconnect, pump the brakes on things, and allow projects to come to fruition before you start new stuff. Get things done, make it all work cohesively, and you'll keep from being in that spot where you're constantly putting out fires and having to feel like you're behind the 8 ball all the time, and you can get ahead and you'll see progress and you'll see incremental increase from the projects that you are getting done and tying together. Right? So this is Jason Harlang to the Victor Belong the Spoils.